This is not a drill today, July 15th, Election Day in Arizona, as voters in Congressional District 7 take part in a special primary election, choosing who's going to represent the party in the race to replace late Democratic Representative Raul Grijalva in Congress.
Now, while the special general election takes place on September 23rd, this southwestern Arizona district is so heavily Democratic that today's Democratic primary is going to likely decide who wins in September. But does today's results say something about the Democratic Party's future?
Joining us is Democratic political consultant Tony Cani. And today's election, Tony, offers Democrats who range from very liberal to much more moderate. Can you break down who's on the ballot and where they stand on that line?
Well, I think that there isn't as much of an ideological difference between who seem to be the top two frontrunners right now, which is Adelita Grijalva and Deja Foxx. They seem to be the two that most indication and most data show right now are going to be the lead. And they're on the progressive side for sure. And then you have Daniel Hernandez, who is the other candidate that is running, who is in that top tier. And polling shows he's down, a decent amount from them. And he is more moderate. He recently ran in the 6th Congressional District on a platform of being moderate. I think the big, thing that Democratic voters in this district are looking for right now isn't necessarily ideology, though it is a progressive district. There really is an urge, a need among Democrats to have people in Congress who are effectively fighting back against the Trump administration and some of the actions that they're taking. And so that really is what voters are evaluating right now, above and beyond everything else. Who do I have the faith in that will be able to actually stand up and make a difference to, defend our rights?
Let's talk a little bit about their backgrounds. Adelita Grijalva obviously is Raul Grijalva's daughter. She's been involved in Tucson area politics for a number of years. But then you've got Daniel Hernandez, who's really kind of famous for helping to save, Gabby Gifford's life when she was shot. But tell us about Deja Foxx.
Deja is somebody who is a creature of the internet culture today. She is an influencer. She was a model, and now she is an influencer. Some people have used that as a pejorative, but I don't think it is in this case. She's someone who just has sort of made a living online. And in the most recent election in 2024, she was in charge of influencer strategy for the Kamala Harris campaign, presidential-wise. And so she has a big network. And she's gotten a lot of attention and a lot of energy from people online. There's also been, some backlash to her for people who are criticizing the way that she's been campaigning, at least on TikTok, for not having enough substance to her campaigning. And so I think this is one of the big things that this election is going to show when it comes to direction of the Democratic Party, which is like, when it comes to the need to sort of connect to voters everywhere, is there a push among Democratic voters to have somebody who has more experience, has a little bit more substance in what they're selling, or are they looking for somebody who they can be inspired by, and has sort of a dynamic, following? And that I don't really know how it's going to play out. It's going to be really interesting. I think Adelita has the edge, but it's going to be tough.
Well, the name is going to carry some weight, obviously. Ultimately today, you don't think that whoever wins really is going to be an indicator of the direction of the Democratic Party from here on out, maybe even nationally?
I think it shows more about the concerns that Democrats have about an ability to stand up to Trump. That really is what it comes down to. I think that's what they want. They want someone who can articulate a vision. They want someone who is willing to fight for them. They want someone who is free from influence of sort of corporate interests, so that they know that they'll have their back. And I think that that's what this race is mainly going to be about. You have, Adelita Grijalva, who was a school board member. She was on the school board. You have Daniel Hernandez, who was a state legislator and a previous candidate for Congress in another district. And you have Deja Foxx, who is an activist, who came up, with Democratic activists and volunteers. And the idea is like, which of these sort of bios is going to be more attractive to the voters in the district.
All right, Tony, always a pleasure to talk to you. Appreciate your time this morning. Are you headed down to Tucson? Is that what I'm to understand, to watch the election results coming in tonight?
Yeah, I'm very likely headed down. It just depends on how the baby's doing today. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. Don't expose that baby to politics at this early of an age.
Right.
No, it's bad news for her. I'm sorry. She's been born right into it.
Even though it pays, for her milk, right? I appreciate it. All right. Once again,
right.
Democratic political consultant Tony Cani.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.